I awoke to the sounds of Lily's gentle snores as they drifted across the bedroom loft. She was still fast asleep and I needed to keep it that way, or suffer the consequences. Creaky floorboards meant that the simple act of getting dressed will require a little ingenuity. Morning, Dougal. Hey, Dougal. Give me that stick, boy. If I was to get that stick from Dougal, I had to time it just right. Yoink! My boots were nearby, but I needed to put on my trousers first. This wasn't my first rodeo. My trousers were just out of reach. Huh? Yeah. Lily made a fish and marmalade sandwich for me the day before. I didn't have the heart to refuse, but I wasn't about to eat it. Oh, that stinks. Oh, that stinks. I couldn't do anything about the sweater while Lily was still culling it. Lily was a sprawl of limbs, and my sweater was pinned beneath her. I needed to find a way to roll her over without waking her. Boots, check. I'd freed my sweater from Lily's clutches, but it was still out of reach. Even with the stick, I couldn't reach that far. I should be able to get the trajectory right. Dougal was happily grazing on my sweater. He wasn't going to just let me take it, but maybe he'd be interested in a trade. I had to wait until his mouth was open. I wondered if I could swap the sweater for the stick, without him even noticing. That was my cue to sneak out of there. I decided I'd cycle to the nearby town. Maybe I'd find someone willing to hire me. Maybe I'd find someone who knew where my dad had gone. But first, I had a few things to take care of. Cooking utensils hung from the wall by the fire, for now at least. I'd recently made Lily a small wooden sword so she'd have something else to swing around. If I went back up there, I'd wake Lily, and I did not want to do that. Lily's dress was hanging from the line. I didn't need to take it down for her. She developed her own technique for that. I think he relocated so he won't be responsible for waking Lily. You and me both, buddy. The doors of the cupboard where we kept the dishes were tied closed. For all the good it did, I'm pretty sure Lily chewed through them last time. Dad, where are you? Dad left his jacket behind. Sometimes his work would make him forget the little things, like wearing a jacket outside, or eating. Dad made his own generator to power his workshop. As with his other inventions, he just refused to explain how it worked. It looked like there was something missing, but I hadn't figured out what. The funnel allowed for coolant to be added. It looked like something important was supposed to go in the slot. Lily left Sir Fuzzlepuff here a while ago with strict instructions to report to her immediately, if he saw her grandfather. It looked like he had rifled through his belongings in a hurry. Either that, or Lily had been searching for clues. I had to admit, some of Dad's inventions really were inspired. The rotor blades of Dad's transmitter were visible from his bedroom window. Shortly after resigning from his position at the hydroelectric power station, Dad set up a few light bulbs in his room. They were connected to a machine which appeared overly complex for the purpose of powering a few bulbs. Dad's compactable footstool seemed like a great idea. I wasn't sure why it hadn't taken off. I only ever saw the transmitter active on a few occasions. During those times, Dad would have kept the shed door locked tight. I needed something to collect the water first. There was a solid block of wood next to the pump. Dad converted the garden shed into his personal workshop when he decided he wanted to work for himself. He'd normally spend every waking hour in there, inventing, tinkering, but it had been days, and there was no sign of him. The door wasn't locked, but something was blocking on the other side. I've had better ideas. I've had better ideas. I don't think that would have helped. My father had notions of turning to farming when he left his job, but he never could leave signs behind. Strange lights? Ah, it's a package from my father.
Arthur, this is the last of the small crystals. I hope this was worth giving up your job for. I'm still finding the whole notion difficult to believe. I'm tempted to make a trip to your home to see it with my own eyes. But the fact that you keep the generator in your bedroom is quite unsettling, to say the least. If what you say about the lesser crystals is true, then I fear what may happen when this company begins experimenting on the large one. It's still safe for now, but I don't think it'll be possible to smuggle it out of here without anyone noticing. Given the apparent results of your own experiments, it's possible they'll listen to your warning. However, it's more likely they'll see nothing other than the potential for profit. For now, I'll do my best to impede their research. Stay safe, my friend. Nina.
The strange crystal was obviously important to my father. I couldn't help but wonder if it had anything to do with him going missing. I decided to do a little snooping around. Taking into account Lily's willfulness, it was often easier to indulge her creativity than flat out ask her to do something. In this case, the gnome was a spy who informed me of when Lily wandered too far from the house. My trusty bicycle was my main method of transport, and definitely didn't require any modifications, despite what my father said. It was Dad's idea to put the memorial stone by the wall. It was Anya's favourite place to have a picnic. Now that I had a lead on my dad's whereabouts, I definitely couldn't leave. I picked up the jug. I'd need water to make Lily's breakfast. The pump handle had snapped, leaving only a small section of it protruding from the pump. It was going to take something heavy to force it down. The handle was broken, and the only tools I knew of were in the shed. I couldn't see a thing, and the idea of walking around a room in the dark, where my father invented things, made me nervous. I don't think that would have helped. The lights in the shed only came on when Dad's generator was running. I hadn't figured out how it worked yet though. It wasn't your average generator. It looked like the pitchfork had fallen from its resting place. The pitchfork wasn't heavy enough by itself to make the handle budge. Yet another impressive feat of engineering. Well, well, well. I only ever saw the transmitter active on a few occasions. During those times, Dad would have kept the shed door locked tight. It looked like he had rifled through his belongings in a hurry. That, or Lily had been searching for clues. There, that should keep it cool. Let's see. It fits. Huh? It's glowing. The label on the right indicated the weight of the crystal. The label on the left indicated the electrical resistance of the crystal. The whole wall was covered in writing. Adding the water seemed to trigger a green light. With the machine generating power, there was some writing on the wall made visible by the light of the bulbs. Some of it was obscured by sunlight, though. I had to admit, some of Dad's inventions really were inspired. Dad had a habit of writing on whatever was nearest at the time. Apparently he found a way to make sure I didn't clean it. He must have wanted to remember that particular pattern, but what for? Whatever I did, it caused the machine in the back garden to power up. The machine was receiving power from within the house and was now transmitting something. Turned out the shed's various appendages did something after all. Sure enough, the lights and whatever other equipment Dad constructed were receiving power. I wasn't sure if I was getting any closer to figuring out what happened to him, but it was the best lead I had. There was a hand-drawn map on the wall with 2 locations marked: our house and the hydroelectric dam, where Dad used to work. There was a large machine in the middle of the shed, with what looked like sliding doors. Dad, you better not be stuck in there. I'll find a way to blame it on the dog. machine appeared to have opened by itself. There was a 50-50 chance that it was intended to respond to vibration, or that it was simply as reliable as the stepladder. It was one of the puzzle boxes my father often made for Lily. I wasn't sure why he hadn't given her this one, but I knew she'd be happy to have it. There was a small keyhole in the back, but like many of Dad's devices, its purpose was far from obvious. The machine appeared to be waiting for something. I've had better ideas. I've had better ideas. I wanted to give Lily the puzzle box I had found, but she was still asleep. The doors of the cupboard where we kept the pretty sure Lily chewed. Cooking utensils hung from the wall by the fire. I'd recently made Lily a small wooden... I wanted to give Lily the puzzle box I had found, but she was still asleep. Whenever possible, I tried to avoid taking the blame for waking Lily. Dougal, I think it's your turn to wake Lily up. Lily's dress will take it down for her. Dougal, I think it's your turn. My father had notions, but he never could. Taken into account, in this case, now that I had a lead on my dad, my trusty bicycle, and definitely didn't. Can you tell if there's anything dead or explosive in this box? Dad left his jacket behind. Sometimes his work would make... Didn't really stop to think where my dad got the mask or why he wanted it. I was pretty sure I could put it to good use though. Lily was fearless, even with the way she got out of bed. Sorry you had to take the blame for that one, Dougal. Lily, does when in doubt, dance it out mean anything to you? Right. How did that dance go again? How did that dance go again? The secret dance routine turned out to be the solution for the combination lock. Inside the box there is a small key where the tasty treat should have been. I've had better ideas. I don't think that would have helped. Looks about the right size. Hey! Ah!
So hungry. Need breakfast. Look, Dougal, everything's laid out already. I should just make it myself. It's porridge. What could go wrong? Big old bag of oats. Prepare to be eaten. Hey, wait a minute. It's empty! Okay, I can fix this. All I need is a fresh bag of oats, a new bowl, and then to place a pot over the fire. That breakfast wasn't going to prepare itself. Why didn't Granddad invent something like that? This is easy peasy. What was Dad worried about? Dougal was pretty smart, but he didn't know how to put together a breakfast. Dougal, attack that string! I've never adventured on an empty stomach. Hey, Dougal, I think someone's at the door, boy. Wait till Dad hears I did this all by myself. Oh. Hang on. Where is Dad?
Oh. For a moment, I wondered where I was. Then I noticed everything was different. I was different. But it was when I thought of Lily that it no longer mattered why. I couldn't let her think that she had lost someone else. Somebody had left their belongings on the floor of the strange room. After glancing over the items, I realized some of them belonged to my dad. So, this is where you went. Dad's pipe had been left behind, and in more pieces than the last time I saw it. No wonder, if his entrance was anything like mine was. Among the collection of things there was a notebook, but I didn't recognize the owner's handwriting. A quick scan showed it to be filled with scientific notation, none of which I could make sense of. It was unusual to see Dad without his hat, and vice versa. But then again, it was noticeably warmer than home. I decided to take it with me. A glass jar had been left next to the other belongings, emitting a faint white light. Assuming unusual objects to be important seemed like a good rule of thumb, so I picked it up. Come on. Okay, let's figure this out. There was a pair of niche panels on one of the walls, each containing an empty spherical socket. Placing the jar into the left socket had restored basic power to the lab. The machine was dead, no matter how much I banged my fists against it. The lab had some power, but none of it was reaching the door release mechanism. I've had better ideas. Whatever the rightmost socket was supposed to do, it didn't seem to be able to do it while the lab was unpowered. The lab had some power, but none of it was reaching the door release mechanism. There was a pair of niche panels. I've had better ideas. Nah. Placing the jar into the left socket had restored basic power to the lab. The machine was dead. The lab had some power, but none of it was reaching the door release mechanism. I've had better ideas. I don't think that would have. The lab had some power, but none of it was reaching the door release mechanism. Nah. Whatever the rightmost socket was supposed to do, it didn't seem to be able to do it while the lab was unpowered. The lab had some power, but none of it was reaching the door release mechanism. There was a pair of niche panels on one of the walls, each containing an empty spherical socket. Placing the jar into the left socket had restored basic power to the lab. The lab had some power, but none of it was reaching the door release mechanism. The machine was dead, no matter how much I banged my fists against it. There was a pair of niche panels on one of the walls. Placing the jar into the left socket had restored basic power to the lab. There was just enough power to distribute to the door release. It took a large amount of power to get me here. Logic dictated that it would take something similar to get me home. I was going to have to venture outside to find it. And in the back of my mind, I hoped that I might find my father along the way.
Dad must have gone to town without telling us. Oh well, time to go to work. Heroes are good at saving people, but I never got a chance to save her. Dad had probably already checked the post. Nobody ever sent us anything interesting anyway. So, we meet again. Dougal did his best to keep me out of danger. It was so annoying. I took the stretchy rope from the tractor. Every adventurer needs rope. Right where I left it. I needed to keep the bone until there was a better time for bribery. Can't go that way. Gnome is watching. I'd only just left the house, and there was work to do. definitely wouldn't have worked. I'm pretty good at climbing things, but only when I can reach them. Grandad would have been proud of my giant slingshot. Ugh! I wasn't strong enough to pull myself back. Hopefully we haven't missed any customers. Dad says we're running out of money. He's doing his best to find a job. He's probably gone to town for that exact reason. So until then, we've got to do our best to help out. Hey, Breeze! You didn't pay for that! Good thing Wings can't ride bikes. Wait, if Dad's bike is still here, where's he been all morning? I had a bad feeling, and I was pretty sure it had nothing to do with the porridge. Hiya!
With Gnome out of the way, I was free to start looking for Dad.
He can't see me without his head. That definitely wouldn't have worked.
I'd never run away from home. Besides, there was an adventure to be had. Dad's bike was by the wall, which meant he was still around the house somewhere.
It felt like a dream. I was being led down a path, and, short of curling up into a ball, I was helpless to do anything about it. I considered going back inside and just waiting for someone to find me, but I knew that if I wanted to get back to Lily soon, I'd have to find the source of power for the machine that brought me here, and I wasn't coming back until I found it. It looked like the blue lamp also acted as a door release. It looked like the blue lamp also acted as a door release.
Dougal, do you think we should have a quick nap? No, you're right. I don't say this often, but it wasn't the time for eating. I tried getting Dougal to pick up Grandad's scent. No dice.
Clamphira? Huh?
Hey, the spinny thing is spinning again! Who's working in the shed? I already looked through all of Grandad's clothes. Wherever he went, he took his hat with him. At least that ruled out alien abduction. I heard that's a thing that can happen now. Come on, Sir Fuzzlepuff. I'm on a new quest. Ooh, shiny. I probably shouldn't touch it. Blind goes down. Hey, how come when I draw on the walls it's a bad thing? This spinning machine usually only works when Grandad is busy in the shed. Could he be back? The pump handle was shorter than I remembered. Maybe I just grew a lot overnight. Grandad would pretend he did everything for a reason, but I think he just liked to decorate. I wasn't allowed to go into the shed, which made it the best place for playing in. Dad, are you in here? I've never seen this thing open before. Normally I'd jump straight in, but this is something Grandad made. I'm going to need a guinea pig. Godspeed, Sir Fuzzlepuff. Whoa! He's gone. Of all the souls I have encountered in my travels, his was the most fuzzy. Dougal, this must be where everyone went. What if something happened? I need to go after them. Dougal did his best to keep me out of danger. It was so annoying.
Grandad wouldn't mind me borrowing a little bit of paper. Before I go, I should leave a note somewhere so Dad knows where I went. You wait here in case someone comes by.
As I wandered deeper into the swamp, I began to feel uneasy. From the gnarled and twisted branches of bizarre trees to the clamour of unrecognisable creatures filling the air, it was clear I was a long way from home.
god! I'm adorable! I couldn't wait to see what Dad looked like. His sacrifice will never be forgotten. This is Granddad's stuff. I knew it! The machine I came out of wasn't the same machine I stepped into. There was definitely magic involved. Somebody had made some holes in the wall. Usually, holes in the wall meant Granddad was working. Somebody had made usually.
The doors had crumbled, and creeping vines had woven their way amongst them. It was hard to tell which had occurred first.
My apologies. I don't see many like you.
Who are you?
Mare.
Mer?
No, just Mare.
I'm not sure where I am. Can you help me get home?
Maybe help each other? Come, sit.